So this kid here was suspended from school for his extreme hairstyle. A teenager who shaved his head for a cancer charity has been removed from classes. Taylor Jones, 15, was told that his extreme hairstyle was inappropriate when he returned after the holiday. Lounston College in Cornwall says he is being given individual specialist tuition for 4 days until it grows back, but Taylor's mother, Leslie, says he could not be punished for trying to help others. Mrs. Jones said that her son decided to raise money for Cancer Research UK after a friend was diagnosed with terminal cancer. He had been growing his hair for months in preparation for the event, which he had planned for June. But Mrs. Jones said that she and her husband encouraged Taylor to move the shave toward Easter because his hair would be so long that it would be covering his face. When he returned to school, he was told that he would have to spend his school days in an exclusion room, Mrs. Jones said. She said, "Everywhere has rules, but I just think in this circumstance, they could make an exception. They could have had an assembly and recognized what Taylor had done, but pointed out that normally the haircut wouldn't be appropriate for school." Lounston College said Taylor would have individual specialist tuition for the 4 days he would not be in lessons. Principal Brian Maywood said, "After this period, his hair would no longer be considered an extreme hairstyle. He will return to normal lessons." According to the college, Taylor was advised before the holiday to have his hair cut to a very short but acceptable length. Mr. Maywood said Taylor went against his advice by having it cut extremely short in the days immediately before the term began. This is a private school, but the idea of somebody being identified as having an extreme haircut for having shaved their head is insane to me. Some people have a medical condition, and I'm sure they would have looked at that thoroughly first, or maybe, they knew the kid. But still, the fact that shaving your head is some sort of thought crime there. Think about it. I could understand if they were to, oh, you can't have a Hitler mustache. That's pretty bad, right? But having a shaved head is much more common than having a Hitler mustache. So the way I see it, this kid should have, of course, been able to have his hair however he wants. The idea that this was too short is kind of ridiculous. He had his head shaved. This happens. And that they're going to suspend him for 4 days so it could grow back? For what reason? What's the point of not letting him be in school for 4 days? Do they worry that the other kids are going to freak out about him having a shaved head and that 4 days is enough time to have some hair grow back? This just seems a bit extreme and overreactionary. But hey, maybe I'm wrong.